Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. So we're continuing on with the creation of the main menu and we're going to get a few more basic things into place. Now the first thing is right at the top here. I'm going to create a private bool. We'll say underscore PS4 controller. Let's close that line off and in the comments we'll say create bool and we'll say when a PS4 controller is, we'll say connected, and let's just copy that bool and we'll paste it in here. And we'll change this to Xbox. So underscore Xbox controller. And let's change it here as well in the comment. So these bools will become active if the game detects a controller. But we're going to set them both to false to begin with to make sure. So we'll come to the void start, we'll say underscore PS4 controller equals false. Let's close that line off. Into the comments we'll say PS4 controller is false on startup. Let's just copy that and we'll paste it in again. And I'm sure you've guessed, we're going to change the variable to Xbox controller and we will also change the comment here. So we set them both to false in the void start. However, if we have one attached, the code what we're going to input later will pick it up and then we can actually continue on with the game. But for now, let's get a few more things in place. And in fact, we'll have to come back to the void start. But for now, I'm going to come here below the void update. And we're going to create of type private. And we're going to create an IEnumerator. And we're going to give this a naming convention of main menu manager. We'll open and close, we'll open and close again. So what we're going to do is create a switch block to handle all of these voids. So let's come inside there and we'll use the while, open and close brackets, true. We'll come to the end, we'll open and close brackets again. We'll come inside and we'll say switch, open and close brackets. Let's open and close. We'll come back into this first set of brackets and we'll use underscore main menu controller, which is this variable here, which is attached to this and this. So we're actually switching out the states. And we'll come inside there and we need to create a case, main menu controller, and we want dot fade in. Now we're going to use a colon to close the line off. Now pay attention, this is not a semicolon like this, like we normally use to close a line off. A regular colon this time. We'll come to the next line and what we want is main menu fade in. We'll open and close brackets. Now we can close the line off normally this time with a semicolon and then we say break and a semicolon again. So when the game starts, we'll switch to this case, which activates this void, the fade in, so only the code in this void will be read. And the code in these two blocks will not be until we change to a different state. And in order to do that, let's copy this case block. So from case and include break as well, and we're going to paste that in twice. And then we're going to change it out what needs to be changed. So we'll come to this variable first, main menu fade in, the name of the function, and what we want to do is change it for main menu at idle. So let's just copy and paste that naming convention here and here as well. So once the actual script has done everything it needs to do within this void, then we'll have a set of conditions, and if they are met, then we'll switch to this state, and then if conditions are met, we'll then switch to this state. So let's copy this main menu fade out, and we'll paste that in there and there as well. And we also need to come here after this first close bracket. There should be two below, and we're going to say yield, return, and null. We'll close the line off, and that's just because we are not returning a numerical value within this IEnumerator. But we need to actually start this function, so let's come to the void start. We start it by saying start core routine. We'll open and close brackets, close the line off inside, and we want the little speech marks, and then we're just going to copy and paste that naming convention in main menu manager. Let's get that into the comments. So we'll say start, and I'll just paste in the naming convention again, main menu manager on start up. So as soon as we come into the main menu, this line of code will be read, and then we'll start this switch block, and it should start at the first case, but let's just make sure by coming here, and we're going to say underscore main menu controller, and we're going to say equals, and we want main menu dot main menu controller dot main menu fade in. Close the line off. So what we're saying is we want to make sure that we're in this first state. So this is the naming convention for our controller, which includes these states, and we're going to say it's going to be equal to the name of the script, to main menu controller here in the enum, and then the naming convention of the first void, main menu fade in. And let's just enter there, break up the line for commenting, and here we'll say state equals, we'll come to the next line, and let's just say state equals fade in on startup, and let's save that off there. So we're starting to get the script a little more set up and fleshed out. So let's go through what we've done. We create two bools that will become true if we have either one of these controllers attached. We make sure they're set to false on startup, and then later on code will be added that will switch them to true if you have one connected already. As for this, we make sure that we begin in main menu fade in. We start the core routine, which is this switch block, and we'll be starting in this fade in. So once we've done faded in, conditions will be met. We'll then switch to main menu at idle, and when conditions are met again, i.e. the player has selected something, then we'll switch to this fade out state. But I think we'll leave it here for this lesson. So as always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.